Is the Apple Watch worth buying in 2017? Hey guys, this is Rex425 from Rex425.com, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about the Apple Watch and how relevant it is for 2017. So the sum total of it is if you have an iPhone, then you'll definitely want to go with the Apple Watch if you're in the market for a smartwatch, or if you're into wearables, or if you're just an active person that just wants to track your calories and how many steps you're taking, your distance. This is a perfect tool for that. Probably the best in the market in terms of smartwatch, just because of its versatility and the amount of different tasks that it does. Me and my wife did a little test between this and the Fitbit, just to see how overstated or understated it was, and we both ran a mile and had this thing ticking, and by the time we were done, the Fitbit would say you actually ran a mile, whereas the Apple Watch would say you ran 1.5 miles. When we were running, we ran in a park, and we actually had mile markers as we ran every 0.5 miles. We'd stop dead at the 1 mile marker, and Apple Watch says 1.5, Fitbit actually said 1. So I think maybe the Fitbit is a little bit more accurate in terms of the distance that you're running, workouts, and looking at your calories, how many you're burning. It's really useful tool, and also it's a great heart rate monitor as well. You can track your heart rate, and over time, no problem. So if you're in the market for this type of watch and you've got an iPhone, yes, definitely go for it. If you've got a Samsung phone, go with the Samsung. If you the Samsung Wear or any other Android phone, of course you'd probably want to go with the Android. I just don't like those personally, because I like the Apple Watch. I like the way it looks, and some reviewers on YouTube have qualms about the way the Apple Watch looks. It doesn't look really that nice, or whatever. But I think that this is a matter of opinion. To me personally, I think it looks great. I think it looks pretty professionally done. It doesn't really look like a toy to me. Of course, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, so everybody's going to have their own sort of opinion on cosmetics. So there's a few different kinds of Apple Watches out there. There's the Watch Edition, the Nike Plus Edition, the Sport Edition, and then the really expensive like Gold Edition. So, but I'm really not going to get into all those different editions, because they all pretty much do the same thing. The only one that really has extra features on it is the Nike Plus Edition, and I didn't buy that one, so I really don't know what it does. I just bought the Sport Edition just to try it out, just to see how how accurate it is, and just to see how many calories I'm burning by the day. So, and really I was surprised at the amount of calories that I've just burned by just working. So at least 1,000 calories a day is generally what I go through on a daily basis. Even more than that if I include a workout after work. So you generally will go to about 1,500, 1,600 calories burned per day. So that's pretty good. And I just like being able to see that kind of data, and I like being able to track the heart rate. For some reason, I just like looking at the heart rate over time and see how that progresses over time, how it fluctuates, what my peak heart rate is, what my lowest heart rate is, and that's good to be able to tell that while you're wearing the watch during a workout. You can see all that information right on the screen. Now, disclaimer, I will say, if you've got a lot of tattoos on your arm, it will not read through your tattoos in most cases. Sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. On my arm, most of the time it doesn't. If I put this on during a workout on this wrist, which I did for like several months, I put it on this wrist, went working out. After 30 seconds, it would lock the screen and shut down any app that I was running. Therefore, it would pause the workout. So I would have to, every time I went back into it, it would say the workout was paused. I couldn't figure it out for the longest. I went on the Apple forums, and tons of people had the same issue. So I started wearing the Apple Watch on my right wrist, where I've got no tattoos, and perfect, no problem. It wouldn't pause my workout. Everything runs great. It wouldn't lock out the watch. I think it's because it can't read through the sensors can't read through the tattoos, so it automatically assumes that you're not wearing it, so it locks the watch. So be mindful of that if you're, in the market for buying an Apple Watch, because you're probably going to get the most accurate readings wearing it on bare skin and not over any tattoos. And if you got tattoos on both arms, then too bad. Anyway, guys, is it relevant in 2017? Absolutely. If you got an iPhone, go with the Apple Watch. That's going to be your best bet as far as wearables go. The differences between the different models is pretty simple. There's actually 3 different models. There's a Zero model, a Zero series model, which is the first one that came out with. The Series 1 model, which just has a little bit more powerful processor. It's a little bit faster. And you got the Series 2 model that has a better processor and waterproofing. So therefore, it's, you can go swimming with it. You can, count your laps in the swimming pool. You can go jump in the lake with it. No problem. It's great. So I have the Series 0 edition, the first one that came out. I wasn't the first one in line to get one, but I did buy one shortly after the first edition came out. So I've been happy with it. I've been wearing it for maybe almost a year. I got it like a little bit before the summer of last year. I wore it for most of last year. So it's been working out really well for me. So, and I especially love working out with it. So definitely, guys, if you like to track your progress as you're working out, how much calories you're burning, steps you're taking, all heart rate, all that jazz, then this is probably going to be the best it's going to be the best smartwatch on the market for you. So anyway, guys, I'm not going to ramble on anymore about it. And if you like this band, I got several different bands for this thing. If you want this band, I got it off Amazon. It's not the Apple edition, of course. This is just a cheap Amazon edition, or a cheap knockoff that I got off of Amazon for $20. So if you're interested in that, I'm gonna post a link down below to a few different Apple Watch bands that you can get off of Amazon. I am an affiliate, so help a brother out. And if you buy any Apple Watch bands, hook them up on the links down below. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like this video if you like it, and we'll see you on the next video.